welcome to Smashterpieces, a casual walk through the history of the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate roster. My name is Joe.
And my name is Melanie.
And if you're new here, what we are doing in this show is we are playing one game for every character in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, from 1984's Duck Hunt to 2019's Fire Emblem Three Houses. And today, we are wrapping up discussion on our game representing fighter number 4 Epsilon, Dark Samus. It is the 2004 GameCube game Metroid Prime 2 Echoes.
So last time, we had kind of a positive and optimistic feeling about this, right?
There was a sense of hope that perhaps
exactly. We felt pretty good. All right, next game.
All right. Okay, cool. So Star Fox aside, there was definitely a sense of hope and optimism coming out of part 1 when we talked about just the Aegon Wastes.
And for me, it totally paid off.
And for me, I don't like this game very much. I don't like this game very much at all. I did not come away. Okay, so I'll head it off at the pass first. I didn't finish, except I basically finished. Nobody can tell me I didn't give the game a fair shot. I made it to literally the final encounter and then said, I don't want to play this game anymore.
Like the final encounter at
literally the final encounter. So nobody can say that I did not give it a fair shot, but by God, everything from Aegon onward just became so frustrating to me.
I did not have that experience. So I guess I'll say kind of like, I'll give my piece on why I like not just enjoy this game, but actively prefer it to the first one, is that I think I really like what's going on with the map design in this game. Because the areas are generally more dense, whereas the ones in Prime 1 were more wide. And so there's a lot of time spent generally in a smaller area, but there's a lot to do in that area, and you're going back and forth through it a lot. And I think that lends itself to sort of the exploratory feeling of Metroid a lot better. And I think that Prime 1 had a lot more areas that it just kind of felt like, okay, you go through this straight line and then you get something at the end and you're just kind of done with that area. If not for the entire game, then at least for a while. And that I don't feel was the case in this one. I feel like the areas feel like places a lot more, in that they feel like they're not there for you to explore a video game world as much as they are a world that is there on their own right. And I think that that's a big step up from Prime 1 for me. And I know a lot of the problems that you had were in navigating it, and I didn't really run into those problems myself.
It's not so much navigating the world itself, it's that reading the map still sucks. That was a problem I had with Prime 1. That is something that comes over from Prime 1.
Yeah.
Like, navigating the map interface itself sucks.
To that end, yeah, that does still suck for sure. But I still kind of hold to the idea that anything in this, like, the problems in this game were already problems in Prime 1. There's nothing in this game that I don't like that Prime 1 didn't already do. It doesn't really have any new problems for me, and there are things that I like more in this game. And so that's where I'm coming from with this.
See, my thing is that I can't vocalize a lot of the reason why I was frustrated, but I spent like the entire last 2/3 of the game just unhappy. Unhappy to be playing the video game. The only boss I don't think outwardly completely sucked is Chaika, which Vixie, our guest for F-Zero, when I mentioned that I had quit on Twitter, she asked if it was a boss, and I said it's the final boss, actually. And her response was, that means you made it past Chaika, which that's what it's called, right? Like the dragonfly.
That's what it's called. I don't know if that's how it's pronounced.
Nobody talks in this game, so we'll never know.
Let me look at the katakana.
But she mentioned, like, that one's a really hard one. You made it past that. I didn't find that boss to be particularly difficult.
I love Vixie. I don't agree with her at all. That, I think, is like one of the easiest fights in the game.
I mean, the first half is definitely the easiest fight in the game by far when you're fighting the larva thing. Like, that's barely a boss fight.
Oh, for sure, yeah. I think that I'm not going to pretend that I like a lot of the boss fights in this game. Honestly, yeah, I'm looking at a list of them right now. Most of them aren't very good.
Chaika's the only one that I did not outwardly hate. That's the main thing.
I don't know why I can't find the katakana for this thing's name.
Oh, because it's not a Japanese creature. It lives on a space planet.
It lives in Texas, where this game was developed.
Katakana doesn't exist on Aether. That would be stupid. And plagiarism.
I could have sworn that I saw this recently. This bothers me so much.
It could just be that nobody felt the need to mark it down, since Japanese audiences typically don't really give a shit about Metroid Prime.
I mean, this game did have a Japanese translation, so...
Yeah, but did anyone care? That's the real question. A lot of things have translations.
I'm just bothered because I definitely saw this recently, but I can't find it.
Anyways, and then it all went downhill from there even further, because at some point I had to fight the Spider Guardian, and that fight is awful.
Oh, that fight's good in theory, but so much of it is like waiting around forever until the boss is just in the right position while it's like not actually able to hurt you or anything.
Especially the last part.
And you need to balance the morph ball on like an incline with a very small spot that you can actually sit on. That really sucks.
And fun fact, you might be thinking, well, at least Joe fought the boss with the easier version, because Trilogy has the flick jump. So, fun fact, I forgot.
Oh my god.
The flick jump was a thing in Trilogy. Like, just completely forgot about it. And obviously the game doesn't tell you about it because it wasn't in the original. Why would it tell you about it? It's not supposed to be that hard to discover. You flick the Wiimote and the morph ball jumps. I literally discovered that, or rediscovered, I should say, that the flick jump was there 5 minutes after I had finished fighting Spider Guardian.
And how did that feel?
Well, it felt fine in the moment because I was going for, I think, an energy tank in the walls of that one fortress area. But then I was sad. That would have made that fight at least slightly, it wouldn't have made it not suck, but it would have made it easier.
So, like, I understand your reasoning not for streaming this game, and I think I don't want to hound you about streaming, but I feel like this is really a game that it would have gone better for you if you had been streaming and we could have been helping.
Again, I physically couldn't for this one.
No, I know. I'm not saying you made the wrong choice. It's just like, oh, it's so unfortunate because this game kind of needed it.
And this is probably the only game where that's going to be the case. Because I looked at all the other games we have pointer controls for, and there aren't any. Except for Galaxy, which doesn't need the sensor bar, because I'd be playing on 3D All-Stars. So
yeah.
And that's the closest we have to another game with pointer controls.
Well, that's good.
Yay! Yay, technology.
We really don't have any games on this list with native pointer controls besides Galaxy.
Yeah, not that I could tell.
I mean, Wii Sports Resort, I guess, but that's...
Wii Sports Resort, yeah, but that's going to be a special case in general. We are probably going to have to find a way to be in the same physical location for that game.
Yeah, probably.
Otherwise, it's not going to work. But... So, like, pointer controls won't be a problem there. And those are only for the menu, honestly. And then it's motion controls from there on. I guess for archery, too. Those are technically pointer controls. I don't know. Point is, Spider Guardian is a bad boss fight. That I hated.
I really don't like that one at all.
And now I'm trying to remember what the Sanctuary boss fight was. Oh,
Quadraxis.
Right. Quadraxis. Fucking hated that fight. Not because I think that it is like... I don't think it is mechanically bad. I think everything works. It's just that it would work better if it didn't take...
It takes a million years.
Like, just destroying that fucking antenna during the second phase takes so many fucking shots. It takes so many fucking shots.
A big problem I had, too, is in the final phase with, like, the head floating around. Like, that's such a whole goddamn thing where you're just waiting for this slow-moving object to get perfectly into position, and if you miss, fuck off.
Yeah, if you miss, yeah, too bad. The cycle's over, idiot.
Yeah. And, like, just... I think that the camera angle that they put you in is a very bad camera angle.
Oh, very much so. Very much so.
Like, there is not good depth perception for this.
I didn't have a huge amount of issues with his first phase. Okay, no, I had one issue with his first phase, being that when you get him down to one leg, and, like, when the leg is flashing, that's when you're able to shoot it, after you've, like, bombed all of his heals and stuff. Like that part, you know what part I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
When you get him down to the last leg, it still goes on and off instead of it's just that leg. Where is it? Where is it going? It can't go to the other legs. The other legs are gone. Why is it fucking... And that frustrated me. That was stupid. Any other boss designed that way would not work that way.
I don't like wait around fights like that. Every boss in this game feels like it's a wait around fight, and this is something that I ran. I noticed this most with the Grapple Guardian, but I feel like a lot of the bosses in this game.
Oh, Grapple Guardian is super wait around, but I don't.
There are so many fights in this game where you run into the problem of you can't hit the boss, but also the boss isn't hitting you. Like, it's not, a lot of the times it's not even trying. You're both just kind of sitting there staring at each other. And what the fuck are we doing here? Why is there a period of time in this fight where I am neither able to hurt it or being challenged on avoiding damage? What's the fucking point?
I don't feel like I wasn't taking damage during Grapple Guardian. It turns out giant rhino thing hurt when hit body, but it did take me an embarrassingly long time to realize that the lightning bolt that it shoots is the grapple beam. I should have realized that earlier, being it's the Grapple Guardian, but like every instinct in my body was like, oh, giant lightning beam. I shouldn't get near that. When, as far as I can tell, the actual way you're supposed to fight the boss is get caught on purpose and then shoot him in the face. That seemed to work for me real well.
I actually have footage of this one. Let me double check that.
Because in my experience, at least, he opens his weak point to get stunned when he has you in the grapple beam. And he pulls you in pretty slowly. So
I was not purposefully getting grappled during this fight. So I was just shooting super missiles at him.
See, I was doing that too, but it feels like his weak spot in the back is like, for every enemy in this game like that, where it's just like, oh, they can only take damage from like the back.
I mean, he can take damage from the front.
It's like this tiny little fucking pixel almost, it feels like sometimes, because to me it felt inconsistent, as to, okay, that hit him in the back. Fuck off. Why did it bounce off? Fuck you.
Mm-hmm.
And that happened all the time. To the point where when I entered rooms that had the mini versions of the Grapple Guardian, like the small guys, I guess I should say the regular versions of what the big thing was for the Grapple Guardian. You know what I mean?
The reused Shegoths, you mean?
Yeah, those things.
Because they're just like, remember the ice enemy from the first game where you shot out the casing on its back? It's just reusing that.
When those showed up,
clearly the same skeleton in AI.
Once I got the fucking power bomb, no, fuck you. I'm not playing this game. You're all dead now. Go to hell. Getting the power bomb was nice because I didn't have to play the video game anymore. I did actually, because you only get like 3 to start. But
how'd you feel about the power bomb Guardian?
Oh, that boss sucked. That boss sucked only when I got to the last thing I had to get to, because
to some extent, I wouldn't even call it like a fight so much as it is just like a big puzzle.
It's not a fight. It's like a weird obstacle course that sucks.
I kind of respect that there are multiple fights in this game that are being experimental about what exactly the fight is. But maybe there's a reason that they didn't do that in the other 2 games.
Well, so here's the thing about Powerbomb Guardian, and maybe you'll tell me that I just did it wrong or something, but when you scan it, it says a kinetic force is the only thing that will harm it, or it might stay stunned specifically. And I figured, it shoots the bombs very quickly, which, first of all, why do you get a goddamn infinite amount of power bombs and I only get 3? Fuck you. Stupid ass plant. Fucking go live in a tree sanctuary. Fuck you. That's the best I got for I don't know. But I figured that meant, so if I want to like make it stop shooting bombs for a little bit, I should jump off the track and hit it with the morph ball. Except you don't go far enough to hit it. You fall just short. And then just hit the ground. And it does nothing. So either I was doing that wrong, or...
Let me look up footage. I don't remember the fight well enough. But yeah, I definitely have the instinct that anytime Metroid Prime says the word kinetic, they're talking about the boost ball.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Every time I tried to hit it, she didn't make it far enough.
God, yeah, even in my head, this is a fight where you're using the boost ball, but no, you're really not. I'm scrolling through this video of the fight now. No, you're never meant to use the boost ball. And
I swear to God, and maybe I'm going to get told I'm insane and I just made this up, but I swear to God, scanning it mentions the word kinetic. I swear to God it does.
Let's check.
Because I don't see why else I would have come to the conclusion that I could do that.
Yep, it does say that.
Yeah, so what the fuck?
Yeah, what am I missing here? Yeah, I don't know.
That's so fucking weird. That's really goddamn weird. What other bosses even were there? Because those are what stick out the most in my memory of just having.
There
was
the Boost time. Guardian.
So that fight, for some reason, I don't feel like it is well explained to you that you should be using bombs. Even though it says concussive, and obviously that's supposed to mean bombs, but every time I read it, my brain was like, yes, missiles. It does not mean missiles.
So
it means bombs.
What the scan says, it does not say the word concussive. It says, when it is not in solid form, engaging it in morph ball mode may provide better attack opportunities.
I do not remember it saying that. Does it have multiple scans?
No.
What the fuck? I have no memory of it saying that. I could swear to God it said something about concussive something. But guess not. I didn't catch on very quickly that I was supposed to use bombs. And so my first attempt through that fight was very like, what do you want? What do you want from me? The main hint, I guess, should have been that it turns into a morph ball, which was annoying, to be fair. Because holy shit, it ricochets for so long, and it's not hurtable when it's in morph ball form. As far as I think,
you can interrupt it with the morph ball bombs.
I think I tried and it didn't work. I might be misremembering. I might have gotten it to interrupt it a few times, but it's really difficult to time it when it's moving like the speed of light and ricocheting around like a fucking thing that ricochets a lot. I
guess the only real fight left to talk about then, because we talked about every other boss, is the Emperor Ing.
So I'm going to be the first to admit that a lot of my frustrations with Emperor Ing were very quickly revealed to be that I'm just a fucking idiot. See, you didn't realize this at first either. I watched that part of the stream, but you realized it on your own, unlike me, who had to have our friend mention that this was the way to do it. For me to remember, oh shit, right, that's a weapon I have, being the tracer missiles on the tentacles.
Yeah, because my thought process was just like, okay, there has to be some trick that I'm missing, because I just took it on faith. There's no way that you're supposed to be getting hit and taking as much damage as I was. So I was like, okay, what am I not doing here?
That's why I went to our friend, where I was like, is there some fucking secret to these goddamn tentacles that I'm not, like, seeing? To which the response was, I usually just use tracer missiles. To which my response was, oh.
I don't think the game has enough combat opportunities to where it encourages the seeker missiles.
That is the first time I used seeker missiles in a fight the entire game. They were only for unlocking doors up to that point in my mind. That's it.
Yeah, I think it would have been cool if there was more opportunities to use them.
So there was that. That made that first phase a lot easier. And then, again, phase 2, I'm just an idiot. And this one, I don't understand how I was an idiot. I genuinely don't get it. The scan says magnetic. That means spider ball, and for some fucking reason, I was just I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. What am I supposed to do? And then I accidentally hit the button, and then spider ball worked, and I don't understand how I didn't catch that earlier. I don't understand how I didn't immediately know that was I genuinely don't understand.
I can't help you with that one.
Yeah, I can't help me with that one either.
I tried to give you the benefit of the doubt with phase 1. No, be like, not a lot of opportunities to use the seeker missiles in combat. No,
deserve the benefit of the doubt in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah,
I don't even understand how it happened.
Yeah. And then phase 3.
Phase 3 sucks.
I don't want to say that it sucks.
It sucks for one reason. There's one thing. Stupid. Yeah, the hitbox sucks. The hitbox for its mouth. And also the fact that it's another wait around fight, because it'll close its mouth. And then it'll open it real quick and then close it.
It'll close its mouth while it's just sidestepping back and forth, not attacking you. Yeah. And it's either it should be either I'm attacking or you're attacking. There should not be a point where neither of us is attacking.
And then sometimes when its mouth opens and you have a clear shot, you shoot, and fuck you, that middle leg is in the perfect position to make sure that, no, you didn't, you stupid idiot.
Yeah, the hitbox is too finicky for my liking, definitely.
That's my main problem with it, is that it makes you wait to be able to shoot its one spot, in really boring ways, and it doesn't even feel consistent when you do or do not hit it. The Annihilator beam sure works on that real well, though, after you're fucking able to, fucking cause it to be vulnerable to damage.
The Annihilator beam lives up to its name.
Oh, also, it takes too many shots to make it hurtable. It takes too many missiles. I tried not to use super missiles because of the inconsistent hitbox. That would just make me run out of missiles faster.
Yeah, I think I was using super missiles, and man, I just wasted a bunch of them.
Yeah, like that. I stopped using super missiles around like the second attempt because I was just going through missiles too fucking fast.
I blew so much ammo on that fight.
It's a goddamn good thing that it gives you all your shit back before you start the final sequence. And the final sequence is where I quit the game. I don't like the Dark Samus fights. And the main reason is, why does it spend so much time fucking invulnerable? And why is it so inconsistent as to when you can, like, not even when she has, like, the shield up. Obviously, you can't hurt her when she has that. But, like, when she's just moving around and you hit her with a missile and she just bats it away and does that weird energy field around her for 2 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
It's inconsistent when that is going to happen. I don't understand. That is pretty much my only problem. And the reason that ended up being like a straw that broke the camel's back was, oh, now you want me to do this and there's a timer.
So I kind of like the idea of there being a boss fight in the escape sequence, because
I think it's fine.
Before.
Just if the boss didn't spend 99% of its existence invulnerable.
Yeah, the big problem I had with this fight is that the part where you have to absorb the phazon shots into the beam, when you have like the free aim from the pointer controls, that's so much harder. I had to go in and turn off the free aim when locked on.
See, I think I just accidentally did that. Not turn it off, like absorbed the phazon.
Oh, yeah. Well, you have to do it several times. I was okay with that boss fight. Like, I didn't like it, but I was okay with it when it was just... Because when you fight Dark Samus the second time, first of all, it's just the same fucking fight again. It's just the same fight again on that elevator, but also it's twice as long now. And it's so long, and so when I got there and it was like, all right, you have fucking 8 minutes to kill this thing, or however long it gives you, I don't remember. It was about 8 minutes, yeah.
That was like no. Like, I made it to, like, it got down to like 2 minutes, and I'd barely gotten her down halfway, and it was like, fuck this, I don't want to do this anymore, fuck you!
You know, Fossils is listening to us, and he's just seething right now. He's like,
so mad at me.
These two don't know what they're talking about at all.
He's going to yell at me so much when we get to Path of Radiance. Half of that episode is just going to be him yelling at me about Metroid Prime 2. We're barely going to talk about Path of Radiance.
Well, Path of Radiance is also a story-heavy game that we'll probably be doing the check-ins for.
Yeah, and every check-in's going to start with Fossils getting angrier at me about Metroid Prime 2. This is my prediction. And just in general, so the Sanctuary Fortress, I don't hate as an area, I guess. It's fine. One thing that started around the time that the Sanctuary Fortress starts in multiple areas, in multiple spots of the game, is those fucking phasing in and out space pirates. You want to talk about wait around until you can do something while you're not being damaged.
Yeah.
Fuck those things.
You get the Dark Visor eventually, but number one, you get the Dark Visor way too late for that to be fun. And
even after you get the Dark Visor, they still take 10,000 years to die.
And number two, we didn't exactly like the Chozo ghosts in the first game. This is just the Chozo ghosts again.
Also, I don't like fighting with the Dark Visor on. It kind of sucks. That's another thing I did not like about the last Dark Samus fight. Especially when it's like, oh, they they came back to the fucking real world in front of you. Now your screen is white. Fuck you. Just like blinding light.
The dark visor is at least better than the X-ray visor from the first game.
I barely remember the X-ray visor. To be fair, I barely remembered the dark visor existed for a majority of this fucking game.
That's because it wasn't in the majority of this fucking game. You get it really late.
So do you know how my first reminder that I had the dark visor? And it's how I accidentally found one of the Skyfortress keys, like, before I'd even finished the bog. So I found this area, that it would have been after the bog because I needed Spider-Ball to get this. So it would have been like in the middle of the fortress. I found this area where you needed to do like a bunch of maneuvering with the Spider-Ball on these rotating orbs and shit. And to get to the other side of this gap in the dark world. And I got there. It was like, there's nothing here. There's not even anything to scan here. What the fuck? Why did I do all that then? And then something pushed me off of the edge and I fell and got hurt. I was like, wait, what the fuck was that? And I looked around for a second and like, then it happened again. I got pushed by something I could not fucking see. And that's how I remembered the dark visor, and that's how I accidentally found one of the things that's holding the sanctuary keys, and got a sanctuary key before the game had even told me that that's a thing I was going to have to do. I also found the entrance before the game had told me that that was a thing I was going to have to do.
Oh, yeah, I found that I mean, I knew about it in advance, so I didn't really find it, but I did, like, walk into it before I had the light suit.
It's very easy to do.
The game really doesn't want you to be in that area because you run into like those little things that it's just like they're just barriers that are in areas where the game wants you to have the light suit before you go into them, and it's like it's never anywhere that like you number one, there's like no engaging gameplay around them, and number two, it's never anywhere that you are likely to actually end up without doing heavy exploration.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is the X-ray visor in the first game, by the way.
Oh, right. Yeah, no, this sucked. That sucked.
Mm-hmm.
But at least when they stopped having bones, the screen didn't turn a bright white and say, why are you still on the visor, you idiot?
It did that a little bit in the fight against Metroid Prime.
Like, because it does that both during the fight with Dark Samus at the end, but also every time you find one of the creatures that has a sanctuary key.
Yeah.
Like the instant that you shoot it while looking at it through the dark visor, like, oh, I'm sorry, did you want to see with your eyes? Too bad, idiot. And switching back between the visors is like kind of a pain in the ass on Trilogy.
Yeah, that's definitely. I think that's a lot better on GameCube, honestly.
Because sometimes I feel like I would hit. Same with like switching beams. That's also kind of a pain in the ass on Trilogy, which I was told. I remember you guys telling me that was going to be the case in Prime 1. So I'm not really going to give that as a unique criticism of the game.
Yeah, it would still be nice if you played Prime 1 Remastered to kind of get an idea of like what the more intended experience for the controls is, and also because it's astounding that game runs on Switch.
Maybe one day. Maybe one day. Yeah, I don't like Metroid Prime 2 Echoes. Oh, my problem with Torvus Bog, I should say outright. My least favorite part of every single Metroid game is you're underwater and gravity sucks and you can't move. And like, I understand that's supposed to not be super fun, because then when you get the gravity suit or whatever the equivalent is in that game, you're like, oh, thank God, now I can like play the video game again. Good. And it's supposed to like add to that feeling of just, oh, thank fucking God. First of all, it lasts way too long in this game.
I
It's
feel like it was
it's
mercifully
several
short
hours.
in this game compared to, well, what do you mean several hours?
It was like 3 fucking hours.
You really don't need to be in the water until you're like down in like the underground area.
I feel like there was multiple other times, but also in the underground area, that was a pain in the ass. But also, when you do get the gravity suit equivalent, it sucks.
But it's the gravity suit with more functionality.
It's the gravity suit, but the instant you leave the water, it stops functioning immediately.
I'm not sure that's like an issue that I was running into.
I had it become an issue a couple of times in trying to jump back up onto certain platforms. But I don't know. I don't think that added functionality is worth it. I mean, it's just the gravity suit otherwise. It just lets you move normally for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think then you hit the button again after you jump, and now you slowly go up, but not only a certain amount.
I don't know. I kind of like that. I think it was like it was a neat and kind of unique mechanic, but
I just don't think it's used to any fun degree. I guess sucks is a strong word. I just think it's boring. I don't know.
I don't know. I thought it was neat.
But the only other problem I have with power-ups, I think the power-ups in this game are overall fine. Getting the Annihilator Beam is very satisfying, even though it took me a second to realize it uses both types of ammo, which should have been
obvious.
Should have been obvious, but also I didn't realize until I was out of one kind, but I didn't have a lot of ammo anyways when I got it. So
the Annihilator Beam is another thing that's like way later in this game than I remembered it being.
Yeah. But the one that I kind of have a problem with is I don't like how the screw attack has a limit. That's just a personal thing. Like, I see why.
My issue with the screw attack was different and exclusive to me.
Oh, because my other issue is that sometimes it just didn't activate.
It can be a little finicky like that. My issue though is that my controller was having a double tap issue where it would hit the buttons twice for some reason, and for the most part that only really mattered during when I was reading scan logs, until I got the screw attack and it started to matter a lot more.
Yeah. I'm glad you also had. I saw this part of the stream as well. That wall jumping segment right before Emperor Ing. I'm glad you also had trouble with that. I felt a little better about myself noticing that because I had so much trouble with that. I don't know why.
Well, I had trouble with that because of my controller double tapping.
Well, I also kind of don't like because this isn't the case in like any of the others. Maybe it is in Prime 1. I don't remember. I don't like how you have to be doing a screw attack in order to do the wall jump.
I mean,
but also being a first
no
person
screw attack or wall jump in Prime 1.
Ah, well, there you go. I don't like how you have to be in a screw attack to do the wall jump. Mm-hmm. I get having like specific walls that you can do it on, like only, but I feel like just having the specific walls is enough. I don't think you also need to add on, and you also need to be doing a screw attack.
I mean, it's their way of making the wall jump an unlockable ability, which is a misunderstanding of the wall jump's appeal in 2D Metroids. But hey, I've never thought Prime is as good as 2D Metroid, so...
Yeah, I like 2D Metroid a lot better. I think I said that during Metroid Prime 1 as well.
I definitely said it during Prime 1.
I think that's the end of my list of complaints. Oh, I hate the stage through the Elite Ing. The like floating tentacle guys. They're so fucking annoying.
My experience was they were always in areas where I could shoot the light crystals with the light beam to instant kill them.
For some reason, that didn't seem to consistently work for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why. Like it worked a couple of times, obviously. But then it would get to the point where it's like, oh, now there's 3 here. Okay, sure. I guess. It mainly became especially annoying when I got to that point where it's like, I'm not fighting any of these enemies. I'm walking through the room to the door, and they and the phasing space pirates are so annoying to deal with when you're just trying to walk across the room.
Oh, yeah, true.
Like, fuck that.
I still like this game a fair bit. Another thing that I just realized I never said about it that I really, really like is how a lot of the upgrades, like missile expansions, energy tanks, and all that, the puzzles around them are a lot more involved and puzzly in ways that they rarely are in Metroid, and I like that a lot.
I think I can agree with that.
So to me, it's that combined with what I like about the map design a lot is a big part of why of the trilogy, this is my favorite game. I still don't believe any of these 3 games are as good as 2D Metroid, but this is just the one that it appeals the most to me.
Reading the map in these games is awful. Look, okay, I probably made this exact same rant during Metroid Prime 1. I don't remember, that was 400 years ago. The maps having verticality is good. It's a first-person 3D game. Verticality is kind of needed, but this map does not know how to handle verticality in any way, shape, or form. It just doesn't.
It kind of needs to understand the concept of floors a little better than it does.
Boy, fucking howdy does it, because I would be, especially in that spot in the bog where you get the gravity, whatever the fuck. Just I would try to scroll over to look at a room, and then it'd be like, oh, you want to look at the room 500 feet up, right? Because that's in the system. That's the next room that you would come across while scrolling. That's what you want, right? And that was a constant problem the entire fucking game. And I think that's one of the reasons why the last 2/3 of the game were frustrating to me, because, to be perfectly honest, Agon does not have a lot of verticality to it. But Torvis and the Sanctuary do. And yeah, the map's just so fucking bad at it that reading it was...
So, to follow up Metroid Prime 1 and Metroid Prime 2, naturally we need to bonus episode Recore, right?
I was thinking we need to bonus episode Jedi Knight Fallen Order.
I just started playing Jedi Survivor, by the way. It's extremely good.
I haven't played either of them.
You want to... I mean, there's no good reason to bonus episode Fallen Order, but we can if you want. It's a good game. Recore was made by many people that made Metroid Prime, though.
I have so many other games that I need to play. We're about to start a book club with one of them. Oh, God.
And during my Recore stream, John had Recore fun facts down in the corner. Including...
that he probably pulled directly out of his memory, because I would 100% believe he does not have a single one of them written down, because he doesn't need to.
Quote, more Metroid Prime developers worked on Recore than Metroid Prime 4.
Beautiful.
Fun Recore facts. The average owner of Recore has played the game for 7 hours. John Meriden has played Recore for 1.4 days. Fun Recore facts. Recore is the highest rated game Keiji Inafune worked on in 2016.
That can't be true. What other games did he even come out with in that time period?
I can't tell.
Insert laugh track.
Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I like Metroid Prime 2 Echoes. I will say, one thing that actually really surprised me, in an unfortunate way, is that not a lot of the music really stood out to me like at all.
No, I don't think it ever does in the Prime games for me.
I had a couple of songs in Prime 1 that like Phendrana Drifts I could still name off the top of my head at the very least. The only song that I think in Prime 2 that I think had me like, all right, this isn't bad, and that I can like remember sort of off the top of my head. I couldn't whistle it for you if I tried, but is the Fortress Sanctuary music.
The best song in the game is the multiplayer battle theme, and you didn't play that, so...
Yeah, but I know what that theme is because it's in Smash, and it's also the intro that was played in this episode.
We should play the multiplayer over Dolphin.
Maybe one day. I think that would be fun. I'll get fucking trounced because not only am I not used to the GameCube controls, I'm also very bad at first-person shooters.
It's been a minute since we've had a Versus stream. Maybe we could try that before Star Fox.
But we'll be able to have a Versus stream in Star Fox. Nintendo's Halo killer.
We can do one stream where we play both. Trust me, you won't want to play the Prime 2 multiplayer for very long.
Yeah, the cool themed stream of games with space bugs that are evil, or I guess in Metroid's case, both good and evil.
Is this our attempt at a transition?
I'm just saying, it's really funny to me that we are going to be playing 2 games back-to-back that feature bug aliens. I mean, I guess you can't really call the Luminoth aliens. They live on that planet. You are the alien, but you get what I mean.
And also the Luminoth aren't evil.
That's why I said in Metroid's case, both good and evil. Because the Ing are also mostly bug things. The Ing elites aren't, which is weird to me. But, like, the big spider people, and also they live in a place called the Hive. They're bugs. Yeah. Everybody, it's bugs all the way down. And I just think that's really funny. But yeah, that seems like a good transition.
I think Prime 2 is the best in the trilogy. So, next game.
Yeah, that's as good a transition as we're going to get. If you think I'm wrong about Metroid Prime 2 Echoes, which statistically you do,
that's a lot of people don't.
Make sure to tweet at Sapphire Synatrix to really let me know how wrong I am. That's my real Twitter handle that I actually use. Don't listen to anyone telling you otherwise. Someone does use it. Or look at the bio that would clearly show it's not. That's definitely the one. Anyways, let's move on to our next game, which represents fighter number 44, Wolf. He is a wolf with a gun. A lot of people don't know that. It's the 2005 GameCube title, which we're out of 2004, by the way. We've been in 2004 for like 2 years.
Oh, fuck.
The 2005 GameCube title, Star Fox Assault. I've never played this game.
So you know Star Fox 64?
I do.
Then you know this game for the most part.
Do I? Because the two things I do know about this game, one of them makes it kind of different, being that you're not in a ship all the time, or even a vehicle.
Yeah, that's true. It's, if I say anything bad about this game, John's gonna get mad at me.
Good. I'll say all the bad things about this game I have not played.
Okay, so if Star Fox 64 is the best Star Fox game and Star Fox Zero is the worst, this is the most Star Fox game. There's so many video games in this video game.
They wanted to... This was their Halo killer. Remember the time of Halo killers? There were so many of them.
I feel like Prime 2 should have been the Halo killer, but...
Yeah, but was it?
It's the one that actually came out in the same month, so... Did you know that? The same month?
Oh yeah, I think you mentioned that during either the pre-show or last episode. I think. You mentioned it one of those times. The other thing I know about this game is it is the first Nintendo game with a fully orchestrated soundtrack.
That is true.
Which you wouldn't expect on the fucking GameCube.
I mean, CD quality music.
Yeah, I guess.
At that point, it wasn't a matter of technology anymore. It was a matter of doing the thing.
I just think it's weird that Star Fox is where they used it, of all things. Like, not Mario? Not Zelda?
I mean, they did do it in Mario, the very next Mario game. So
well, yeah, but the very next Mario game was fucking 2 years later, sorry. Galaxy was in 2007.
Yeah, and Sunshine was 3 years ago.
And not in Zelda? I guess there could be some orchestrated stuff in Twilight Princess. I don't actually know.
There's not a lot.
I do know that we didn't get a fully orchestrated Zelda soundtrack until Skyward Sword. That's the only thing I know. Which that soundtrack is very good. The little I know about this game, I know because Peter brought it to OSC once. I don't know how I'm gonna feel about this game.
It's so okay.
The current plan is I'll be streaming it. I assume with your support at least some of the time.
Yeah, I can hang around.
We'll see how that goes. And
it's not a long game either.
Yeah, what's the estimate I put on our spreadsheet says it's 5.5 hours long. So that's like 2 streams.
It is not substantially longer than Star Fox 64.
This is the last game with a single-digit hour estimate that we are going to play probably for the next 2-3 years. Everything after this is double digits. The smallest one is 15 hours for Galaxy.
Honestly, I'm even going to say, like, a lot of the stuff that we do have listed down as single digit after this, I don't agree with.
Some of them, so, like, this is behind the curtain for everybody else. I have, like, Wii Fit and Minecraft just down as 1 because I don't know, and Wii Sports Resort kind of too, but that one I could actually see taking, like, a 3-hour stream at most. Those are down because who the fuck knows? There's no estimate we could ever put down for either of those games. So it's 1 for now.
And Animal Crossing New Leaf.
That as well, because who the fuck knows? Which, hey, update everybody, that might be more possible now. Not guaranteed yet, still.
We still have to make sure that the save system in Citra actually works the way that we need it to, but that's the only thing that we need now.
Yeah, now that I have a computer that can run Citra, it's way more potentially gonna happen.
And 2 other people that are willing to do our deranged idea.
Our really stupid idea that we are gonna regret within a month. But yeah, so that'll be cool. But it's Star Fox. Woo! You can have a missile launcher in this game, right? I think I've seen a screenshot of that. We really should have picked Star Fox Adventure. The game Wolf is decidedly not in. But, you know, we can't all make the best decisions.
Star Fox Adventure has already been streamed from start to finish on the Twitch channel.
So at Kingdom Hearts, that didn't fucking stop me, now did it?
Nah, it didn't, did it? Do you want to stream Star Fox Adventures?
God, no. I watched most of that stream, and that was enough.
It was a good stream, though.
They were good streams. I could see distinct points where it's like, oh... wouldn't have liked that. Wouldn't have enjoyed that part.
That's most of it. I don't think you would have enjoyed that game at all.
We could have played. What's the DS one? Was there a DS one?
Star Fox Command.
Command, yeah.
That one's fucking weird. I think we should bonus episode that just so you could see what the fuck that game is, because it's weird.
Yeah, I don't actually think I've ever seen footage of Star Fox Command. I don't know.
John made the documentary and everything. Star Fox Command has a feature where you record your voice, and it uses your voice to make the Banjo-Kazooie style voice acting.
Okay, that's kind of cool, though. That's neat. I like that. Look, when John... I have to make an admission. When John starts talking about Star Fox, my brain goes on vacation to another land where it doesn't have to hear about Star... I don't actually mean that. I love it when John talks about Star Fox. I just haven't watched that documentary.
Well, yeah, it would be spoilers, obviously, and you have to play it yourself.
It is such a fucking crime that it's going to be 15 years before we have John on this show. It is such a crime that we are all but surely gonna be dead before we get to Star Fox Zero.
Do you want to just drag him in to do Assault with us too? Should we just have him show up for Assault too?
No, because I don't want him to know we're playing Assault until
he knows we're playing Assault.
I don't want him to know it's the next game.
He knows it's the next game.
You can't prove that to me.
I talked to him last week.
Also, I don't want to be in an episode where he can get angry at me. I need time to emotionally prepare for that, and 15 years sounds like a good enough amount. Oh, we will both assuredly be dead before we hit Star Fox Zero.
God willing.
It's just that Melanie doesn't want to play Star Fox Zero so much that she's willing to accelerate climate change to make sure.
I don't think that's what I said.
That's what I'm interpreting it as. And I'm allowed to do that. I live in America. I have freedom of speech.
Can't argue with that.
See, I don't know how to expect to feel about this game. I guess we're gonna find out.
I have so little to say about this game.
I think maybe I did play 2 seconds of this game once when a friend brought it over. But as I've said in every one of the GameCube game episodes,
I know I've played this game at your apartment.
Did you?
Yeah. I don't think I was playing it with you, but...
When the fuck did that happen?
2017.
What?
When me and a bunch of our friends came to Kansas.
But why Star Fox Assault specifically?
That was planned ahead.
What? Why do I
play
have
the multiplayer.
No memory of this?
Bro, you were there.
I have zero memory of this game being played in my vicinity.
You were there.
I believe you. I don't have any memory of it, though. I think I played it a bit, for 2 seconds as a kid. Because as I've said on every GameCube game episode, I did not have a GameCube growing up. Most of the GameCube games we have played is my first time going through them, or my first time going through them had been as an adult.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. We're gonna go to war, and we're gonna kill the bugs, down with the bugs. We're going to enact the cold winter and destroy a lot of ecosystems. I assume.
Something like that, yeah.
Okay, glad I'm on the right track there. Bioterrorism.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, if you want to keep up with us playing Star Fox Assault and you haven't, like followed us, or somehow you just randomly found this episode and are like, why is this asshole talking about Metroid Prime 2 Echoes as if it's a bad game? Here's the thing, I feel kind of safe about that from randos, because as far as I'm aware, Echoes is the divisive one, so I think I'll be okay. And also, they don't know that my Twitter is at Sapphire Synatrix, so...
That is true. It used to be at Enron10, but...
I moved off of that account. Though if you tweet at that account, I will probably still see it, to be fair. In fact, if you tweet at that account, I might see it more.
I'm very confident that if someone angrily tweets at you to that account, you will hear it.
But if you want to follow the show itself, you can find that at Smashterpieces, both on YouTube and on Twitter. On YouTube, when we do stream the games, that's where the VODs go up. I still have a couple of Melanie's Prime 2 VODs to switch live. Hopefully those go up before this episode. I forgot with the last few Thousand Year Door VODs, so those went up after the episode, which was not ideal in my heart, but
Oops.
Oh well. But yeah, so you can follow us there. Or you can go directly to the website that hosts our show, anondino.squarespace.com, where you can download stuff from directly off of there. You'll also find a link both on YouTube and on the website to our list of the games we are playing moving forward. I believe it's up to date, I think. I'll have to check.
You can also go to
sure.
NintendoWorldReport.com. I don't regularly remember to put our episodes up on there anymore, but you can go there.
We are technically still presented by that website, sort of.
Yeah.
Mostly.
We get to make use of their audience, and in exchange, they get some money from Twitch.
We get to make use of their audience, and in exchange, they get a reason. They get a podcast of acceptable quality.
We are technically the most profitable podcast on NintendoWorldReport.com by virtue of we are the only one that is not negative money. We are the only one that does not cost money and make none in return.
To be fair, we do cost a little bit of money. It's just it all comes out of my pocket and not NWR. I have to pay for the website to host the episodes. That's like $20 a month.
Yeah, but all the other podcasts on NWR pays for that. So
yeah. That means we should get a raise from the $0 we get paid right now.
You can go ahead and ask for that.
And you can
In fact, if John were to show up on the next episode, that would be the prime opportunity to ask him about it.
And if you really want us to get a raise, you should tell me how much you want to get a raise at Enron.
At JTS 992.
I'm glad that every single Twitter account has been said, except for mine. Anyways, with that, my name is Joe.
My name is Melanie.
And we will see you next time for our discussion on Star Fox Assault. That's a strong bit. I like that bit.